Assalamu alaikum, everyone. We hope you're having a fantastic and blessed Ramadan. My name is Janan Sarwar, and I would like to welcome you to our Ramadan Special called Our Prosperous Ramadan. It's my honor to introduce you to our special guest today, Dr. Hiba Tohid. Dr. Hiba is a doctor of medicine. She's a Fulbright scholar, currently working as a clinical research associate at Hamad General Hospital in Qatar. She's been extensively involved with research on chronic diseases, especially diabetes. I really look forward to our discussion today, as I know I have personal connections to people who have diabetes, and I look forward to learning. So, assalamu alaikum, Sister Hiba, Dr. Hiba.
Walaikum salam, Janan. No, it works either way, sister or doctor. Doesn't matter much. So, no, thank you so much. Thank you for having me today.
Yes. Do you mind telling us a little bit more about yourself that you'd like to share with the audience?
Absolutely. I think you pretty much put it well in the gist of the introduction. And yes, I'm a doctor, but I have been working as a clinical researcher for quite some time now. So that's become pretty much my niche. And as you mentioned, most of my work has been around research projects which have had to do with non-communicable chronic diseases, mostly diabetes and patients with hypertension. Obviously, it's what I like to call an unholy alliance. You know, diabetes and hypertension go hand in hand. So mostly my work has been with those patients, and today I hope I can share some learning from those experiences with you on the show.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll go ahead and ask what kind of advice that you do have for any of our fasting brothers and sisters that are listening to here that may have some of these conditions that are chronic right now. What input, advice do you have from your experience?
So you see, Janan, and when it comes to Ramadan, there is a lot of religious fervor. You know, everybody wants to make the best and the most of this month. And it's understandable, of course, you know. So, and having said that, you know, like when they want to make the most of the month, you know, the first thing they want to do is obviously, you know, fast each and every day of the month. So now, because they want to fast in the whole, you know, religiosity and everything, you know, they forget that, you know, their health is not optimum. And perhaps it may not be advisable for them to fast during the month, or you know, not if not the whole month, then even, you know, like, you know, they can perhaps, you know, do it alternate days or something, but, you know, fasting for them for the whole month might not be possible. So they need to understand this. And I think a lot of times, you know, we came across patients who, because of this religious fervor, they lost track of their disease, and they just, you know, because they lost track of the disease, you know, they could not, you know, keep up with the medication as they should have. And, you know, the health deteriorated, which eventually is not, of course, good. It's at times it's been catastrophic. So this really needs to be taken care of. And I think the very, very first step towards this is, you know, we all know when Ramadan is coming. So everybody knows, you know, we have the calendar for the next 5 years when Ramadans are going to be. So it doesn't pop in as a surprise. So when you know Ramadan is going to start in, let's say, 2 weeks from now or 10 days from now, that is the best time to go see your physician and get your HbA1cs done, get your basic health checkup done, all the biochemical tests, everything, to see where you're standing, whether you are in an optimum stage where you can fast or not. And leave this decision to your physician, like they are the best people at this stage to advise to you whether you are in a state to fast, to maintain the fast or not. If they say no, please take their advice. I'm sure you will take the advice if they say yes. But even just do not, like just shun it away. Don't put it aside. That, oh, forget it. I want to fast. Don't do that. It's just not going to. It's not going to be in your favor. So always, like, keep it in mind. Just see your physician before Ramadan, and see where you're standing health wise, and then thereon take their advice as to what to do. And that's the first step. Then I think all patients who are diabetic and hypertensive, they since most of them have had this condition, it's been long standing, they've had these for quite some time, they know the self-help assessment, the self-assessment regime. Most of them do have. If you don't, then please make sure you do have blood pressure monitors and blood sugar level monitors with you at home. It really helps to monitor your levels, to see how well you're functioning through the day, especially when you're fasting. This needs to be done before suhoor and after iftar, and during the day you need to keep your levels in check, because it may be that sometimes our body tells us pretty much very late if there's something happening, so you don't want to go through that stage. So try to keep a check on these things beforehand. So self-assessment really helps. Keep these tools with you at home as well, because obviously your physician can't be readily available. And that this is why I say it's very important to see them before Ramadan and make sure you're in a state to fast. If you're not, then please take that advice seriously. And if you are fasting, even if you're not fasting, these self-assessment tools are really, really helpful. So make sure you have them at hand at home, and you know how to function them properly. And then don't fast if you're not well. You see, there is even the religion allows you that much space.
Yes.
Check with the religious scholars, whatever source of religious information you seek. Do that. Go to them. See how you can make up for the lost fasts, because it's not something which is not redeemable. It is, so try to take that path as well. You can make the best of this month through prayers as well, through salah, through zikr, through so many other things. I know fasting is the cardinal feature, but you have the space. Religion allows you that. It gives you that liberty that, if you can't because of any reason, that then you must not. Do not play with your health, because we've seen in my clinical research experience, I've seen, we've seen diabetic patients who come in, and they are at a very, very progressed stage of diabetic neuropathy and retinopathy, and they don't know what's going on with them, especially with neuropathy. They're saying, oh, it's a burning sensation, and sometimes they even say they don't have any sensation. So it's gone to those levels, and just because self-care and seeking physicians' advice has not been there. So as I said, don't lose a track of your health condition. It's very important.
Could you share some of those, perhaps if we are focusing on diabetes, some of these symptoms of hypoglycemia? Maybe people aren't recognizing what's happening. What may, if they are fasting, maybe they didn't have a chance. Maybe we're speaking to them now. It's the middle of Ramadan already,
Mm.
and they're fasting and they have diabetes or another different condition. Specifically for diabetes, what are some things they can look out for, signs and symptoms that things are not going well?
Yeah, I mean, if you feel, I mean, if you're feeling dizzy, if you're feeling, if you're not oriented well, you can't make sense of the things around you. You're sweating. These are the things. I mean, for anyone, this is a little upsetting. All of this happening. So, and in particularly patients with diabetes, they're like. It's interesting, even among relatives, diabetic relatives, they would call in, all hysterical, this, I'm going dizzy, I can't I can't keep my balance, and sweating, I'm hyperventilating, things like that. So the first thing is, have you checked your sugar levels? And no. So this is the first thing, you feel a little skewed in your behavior, any such thing. Go check your sugar levels first, and then, like, go on from there. Maybe you're becoming hyperglycemic, your sugar levels are falling down. um if you're fasting, best thing, please, I don't like saying this, but the best thing is
Break to
fast.
break the fast.
Yes,
Yes.
keep something little with you. As I said, there is, the religion allows you that level of ease. So why not use it? Why torture yourself? So as soon as you have such symptoms, if you feel disoriented or skewed in any way, please check your sugar levels. If they're not optimum, please, as I said, I hate to say it, but break your fast, and get pumped up, pump up on your sugar, and so that you feel better. Because you can use the rest of the day to pray and everything, but if you're not well, if it goes downslide, then you can't even do that.
Absolutely. And, I know a lot of people, when you say eat sugar, I mean, you're not saying to go get something sugary and sweet necessarily. There are tablets that they can sell in the store, glucose tablets, and different options to get your sugar up. Perhaps maybe even something, would you recommend something like orange juice, or do you have any recommendations that you know from research of what a good recommendation if they do have to break their fast?
Anything which can bring their sugar levels up a notch, and allay their symptoms, should do well. Honestly, right now, I cannot really recommend anything off the hand, but
Right.
yes, this is why I say it's important to speak to your physician, so that they let you know, because everybody works differently, Janan. You see,
Yes.
physiologically, what we've studied, we're all saying similar, anatomy wise, everything, but on a very biochemical level, we all run very differently. So it's important that, when you see your physician, they address you as a single person, as a unique person, and they know you inside out. And I actually really mean they know you inside out through all your tests and everything. So they can make the best recommendations. But generally, with diabetic patients, generally it is, recommended to them that, even, like, as you said, glucose tablets, or like, something like, the sweets, that the candies that the children eat, just keep that with you. Even, like, just toss it in your purse if you're going out at night. Keep it on your bedside table, because sugar levels can fall down at any time due to any reason. You could have,
Right.
it depends on your entire routine of the day, what you've done, what you've eaten, what, if you've where you've been, whatever. So your sugar levels, they fluctuate accordingly. And, even during the night, you can have a certain episode of hypoglycemia, and you need to have them at hand. You don't have the time to run to a pantry or the refrigerator to grab yourself a glass of juice or whatever. So keep them at hand. Keep it on your bedside table. Keep it in, toss it in your purse. Keep it in your pocket if you're going out. So just make sure they are available. They're at hand.
I love everything. You're giving really practical recommendations, and most importantly, recommending that everyone do seek attention with their individualized healthcare provider. Mention that you're fasting or going to be fasting. We don't want anyone to lose track of their disease, have their health deteriorated, lose adherence to their medication. A lot of times medications are taken or to be taken at a certain time, maybe twice a day. And that timing could normally maybe have usually been during non-Ramadan timing, during a time when you now during Ramadan can't fast. So your physician is the person who is that first step to advise you on how to perhaps change your regimen, pause your regimen, or adjust it. It's not something that here we can share, but it's something that you need to see individualized. Now, again, just in case somebody did not do that and they have not seen their physician, or maybe they're scared to speak to them, what recommendations do you have about communicating with your own physician about, fasting, what fasting is, and any recommendations that you can share to this audience?
So, this is why I said that, when Ramadan is going to come. So
yes.
You need to be prepared for it well ahead of time. And, for us, preparation for Ramadan is, making, keeping ready the fried food and things like that in the freezers, So while you're doing that, please, this is part of your preparation for Ramadan.
Yes.
Seeking help well in advance. So, but if for whatever reason you are unable to, if it's a very legit reason that you haven't been able to see your physician, I think even during the month, it is worth going to them and speaking to them. But the idea is to take their advice before going ahead and fasting. This is why I say get your tests done, get your HbA1c done, get your all the other baseline tests done before taking the decision to fast, because that is the only way you will know how your body is functioning from inside. And that is the only, this will give us a picture of, this will give your physician a picture of how well you're doing from inside, how optimally your body is functioning or not. So if not, and the physician is telling you no, please take that advice. And I think this question that you've asked is also, it's quite interesting, because I had been thinking about it for a while, that especially post-COVID, access to physicians and personal access to a hospital in any way, it has been difficult because of the pandemic. A lot of time the outpatient apartments had been closed and there was a telephonic appointments going on. So I was, just thinking about it, what is the step for, what is the next step now in let's say, remote consultation with your physicians. So we've seen telehealth, we've seen telephonic consultations. I think one very important tool that I think we can utilize now, we have it in our hands every day. We are using it for all sorts of communications, WhatsApp. Somehow I do understand there is confidentiality issues and everything which comes in patient identification, which is very important. But I think I leave it to the masterminds to think about it. It's just something, food for thought, that if we can use this as a tool for immediate consultation. I am not well now. What do I do? It's an SOS to your physician. Can we do that? that's a food for thought for, like, the people who are working in this sector, that, who are trying to improve remote the process of remote consultations. So because the pandemic is far from over right now, we are seeing what's happening in Shanghai and everything, lockdowns there as well. So we still need to be very vigilant, and we need to keep working on these tools, on these new mechanisms of how patients can have a quicker and a smoother access to their physicians. So as I said, like how you can do an SOS to your physician, if we can work it out with WhatsApp or a technology, something similar to WhatsApp, where their identifiers can be, they can be kept confidential, and at the same time they can seek help with their physician, like stat right there.
Absolutely. These are amazing recommendations. I know, alhamdulillah, we have a lot of smart people listening. Inshallah, they can take these ideas and implement them. But first and foremost, I really appreciate what you shared. And, on a personal note, I'd love to learn more. You used to live in a Muslim majority country of Qatar, and you're experiencing Ramadan here in the US right now. How does it compare?
Yes. Interesting. Wow, what an interesting comparison this would be. Yes. So coming from a Muslim majority country, Ramadan, it's in the air. It's everywhere over there. From the mosque to the mall, it's it's a whole Ramadan festive feel. And the month is like celebrated. It's like a festival. It's a month-long festival over there. So, and I think one big part of Ramadan is the social part of Ramadan, where you get to socially interact with the people, and the opportunities there, of course, being more, because you can go out and have sahur in restaurants. You can go out for iftar to the restaurants. So as I said, Ramadan is in the air over there. But at the same time, I haven't been here long, and I'm here like temporarily. So um what I felt that the what do you call it, the feeling of community, it's a lot more, and it's a lot stronger here, and it's really interesting, and I think it's because it's not, as I said, it's not like in the air like there, but so it's this one cozy space that you share as a community, which is very interesting, and it's a very different experience, I must say.
Oh, wonderful. And do you have any special Ramadan traditions or anything that you share with your family that's unique to you all or that you normally do you want to share?
Ah, well, like any, South Asian family, typical South Asian family, Ramadan is, it's after prayers, it's about food.
Okay,
So
yes.
yeah, so this whole tradition of you know uh, having an iftar, like a proper iftar, it has to be there. So even if it's around dinner time here, I usually prefer that it should be having dinner straight away, but no, we prefer that there has to be an iftar buffet set, and then we move on. So I think that's the food part is pretty interesting.
And do you have any final words of advice or parting thoughts for our listeners today?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me here. And it was lovely. This whole conversation was very interesting. And I'm so glad I got to share some of my experiences um, with the diabetic patients. I just would say that, Ramadan is a very special month. It's a very special time of the year. And we all really want to make the most of it. And in that, just know that everything is judged by its intention. So if you're well intentioned, you want to really make the most of this month, it will transcend. So do not be discouraged if for any reason you cannot fast. And it could be anything. I see my, like, physicians at times also cannot fast because of their very tough routines themselves. So but then again, health reasons, any other reasons, social reasons, you're not able to fast, but know that in your heart you've been wanting to make the best of this month. So that alone, even that counts a lot. So don't be discouraged, don't be disheartened. Your good intentions will go a long way.
That is, mashallah, very beautiful. Just, as a recap, what we learned today, Islam does have these provisions for people who, whether it's because you're sick, you have a chronic condition, if you're traveling, if you're a nursing mother. And although I know sometimes it may feel like you're left out by not being able to fast, because that topic of Ramadan is about fasting, you can still have ibadah, you can still have your intentions, and you can still participate in other ways. Talk to your healthcare providers, have these important conversations. If they don't know what fasting is, feel empowered to educate them and just explain. It's very simple. This is how many hours I will not be eating or drinking. There's a funny quote, not even water. And I think that's really important because there may be even people with other invisible conditions or conditions that, require fluid intake or maybe digestive issues. There's so many conditions you may have where being hydrated is important. So no matter what, I know we focused on diabetes, but there are so many things that if you have any kind of condition, whether it's invisible or visible or whatever, be and feel empowered to speak to your physicians. They know you best. And inshallah, make that right decision for you that's individualized. And inshallah, we really hope everyone here listening had a wonderful Ramadan. It was a pleasure speaking with you and learning from you. And, for all of you, please continue to stay tuned. We'll continue to have episodes every day of our Prosperous Ramadan. Jazakallah khair. Thank you again. And assalamu alaikum from all of us here at ITV USA. Take care.